Hello and welcome back to the Remembering Tuscola webcast. I'm David Porter here with Mike Carroll and Bill Englehart. How are you guys?
We're good. We're good. Waiting on the rain.
We're just sitting here so we can watch the storm come in.
Starting to look a little dark, but hopefully we can make it through without losing power or internet. Um, anything going on?
Bill correctly identified the three people in the paper last week and called down to the paper, but I don't know if he'll win since there was nobody there to take his.
Well, I'm sure they got the message, and it'll go in the hat, and then they'll draw a winner.
I think it'll be slim pickings in that hat, won't it, Mike?
It's not the first one in.
I don't think so. I think it's
There won't be many people recognize those.
Yeah, those three guys. Bill and I played with those guys when we were young.
Yeah.
I think the prize is like a $5 Monocle's gift card or something.
Well, I'm going to call in then.
You got to call in 3 or 4 times before you can buy a pizza. But we have monocles on Monday nights. Mondays and Tuesdays are double punch nights.
Oh,
so you get your punch card, and you get 2 punches for every punch.
Yeah.
And then you save up the punch cards.
Yeah. It's like Lapeep.
Yeah.
Well, we got a few pictures here. I went to, I just pulled a random envelope out.
There you go.
It's always interesting. This was from July of 1961.
Oh, perfect.
Oh boy, perfect.
I turned 13 years old.
Well, you might recognize some people in the pictures.
I was an 8th grader.
I'm always surprised that there just doesn't seem to matter what year or what month, there are going to be interesting pictures in the envelope.
Yeah.
A lot of people and some Americana pictures and that sort of thing.
I probably had that crush on every high school girl then.
Are we considered Americana?
That's Kitty Quiche.
Oh, that's Americana.
Well, there'll be some pictures you'll be interested in. All right, let me just get started. How'd that be?
Yeah, let's fly. Let's fly. Oh yeah.
Here you go.
Oh yeah.
The little boy sure looks familiar.
So
well,
these
that'll
will
be
be
your age.
These will be a little younger, probably.
Yeah, these are younger, but
Younger than us.
you got to look at the face and really. Did someone identify this group?
I don't think so yet.
Wow. Little girls with their bathing caps on. That boy's got a flat top. Par for the course.
God, when did they quit wearing bathing caps? What year was that? When boys' hair was longer than girls?
I don't know.
I wore them for a long time.
Yeah.
I remember my
kid in 1961.
Yeah.
It was probably about 6th grade.
Everybody put rose butch on their hair.
Mm-hmm.
Keep their flat top up. Remember that? Kenny Huber would rub that butch rose, whatever it's called, on your hair, and
here you go.
Big plastic comb. Yeah. Your head would bleed when you went home. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Got to slide a little bit right there to see who's that.
I don't know.
Wow.
I got a few of these swimming pictures.
I'm trying to think. There it looks like a Grambo down there, doesn't it, on the upper left? Chuck, not Chuck, but yeah. Are we in these?
No.
I'm 14, so these are too young. These are about 10 or 11.
These guys are younger than us, and I just don't recognize.
Looks like Rick Reinhardt. Rick Reinhardt, Chuck Graham.
This guy here looks familiar. Nope.
Wow, these are a blast from the past. Now that's probably not in town, but I was just working on an article. The big thing now is to all the habitat for pollinators are gone because everybody's cutting their grass 1/4 inch high. But when we were young, we had all kinds of lots in Tuscola. We had old abandoned houses and we had lots full of weeds. Remember behind the Brookside Cafe?
Mm-hmm.
We'd play war out in those tall weeds. This looks like old Tuscola back in the 50s where they had abandoned lots.
I just don't remember that little bit of a grade on that road going up.
No, that's probably out on the edge of
I
town.
think that looks, yeah.
I think it's out on the edge of town.
There were some pictures in this group from
Could be Murdoch.
Tolono, from the depot in Tolono, so
Yeah.
who knows?
Yeah, there is.
Oh, we got that one.
Okay.
Go ahead.
That's Coach Bukovich on the left. That's Junior Barbie, Floyd
Junior
Barbie. Next to the girl,
Jeannie Furco.
Jeannie Furco, Marianne Parrish, Red Prophet,
Charlie Whalen.
And
Bruce Carlson.
Bruce Carlson. Slide it to the right a little bit. I don't know who that is over there.
That's Annette McCaney.
Okay, this is a class of
Look at,
this is a class of 61. These are class of 60. These are sophomores there.
Century Motor Sales, Tuscola, Illinois. Nice station wagon.
I just saw Red the other day. He said he had a bunch of big trees fall out there at Patterson Spring.
Boy, he did. I mean, the whole ball route.
Yeah, just took them up.
Right front yard.
Yeah.
Okay, we did well on that.
Well, that's Terry Binion
Yeah.
on the left. Is that Dave Goddard in the middle?
I don't think so, but where are they? It doesn't look like something from the school, does it?
Well, that looks
At the courthouse, maybe?
courthouse where they got storage of records. I'm trying to think who that would be. That may not be Terry Binion, just
May not
look
be.
like him. And the middle guy,
He's with the FBI.
he's with the FBI. They're checking
Yeah.
all of our arrest records.
Looks like a roll top desk.
Well, they've got those at the courthouse. That's back in the clerk's office, I think. It could be the treasurer's. Those look like record books for land transfers.
Wait a minute. Back up again. Is that Gene Miller?
You know what? I think you're right.
I think
Good job. That's Sheriff on the left. That's Sheriff Gene Miller smoking a cigarette back when you could smoke cigarettes near irreplaceable public records.
Because he was treasurer, wasn't he, Mike? He flip-flop.
They used to have a rule that you couldn't repeat yourself as sheriff, and he would be sheriff 4 years, then treasurer 4 years, then sheriff 4 years, and there's treasurer. In fact, when I was state attorney in 76, he was then sheriff. So this is 61. It shows you how long Gene was in office. But who's with him there?
I just don't know. The fellow with the dark hair looks halfway familiar, but I don't know.
Yeah, you're right. That's the treasurer's office. Well, there we go.
Those are our dates for homecoming.
Well, that's
63.
back in the day of hats.
Boy, I guess.
I'm trying to guess the building they're up against. That old door, old bricks, look like the old Baptist.
Well, like I said, there were some Tolono Depot pictures in with this group, so.
Yeah. Well, we probably are not going to get the Tolono Depot pictures unless you have a picture of the depot with Tolono on it.
Well, if I knew that it was Tolono Depot, I didn't put it in.
Okay. Oh boy, that's when Smiley Burnett came back to town to smoke a cigar. No, I'm just kidding. That's not Smiley. Who is that? That looks like
Not Mayor Jones.
one of the Flessers.
Nah,
Any of the Flessers?
no.
No, but
You like the cigar, I know.
he looks happy.
What are you smoking? Oh boy. Oh boy.
They got some kind of name tag. Can't read the tags. Almost looks like a cheerleader or horn or something. You know, like a. There are a few of these pictures, and some of them we've got comments on. And
You on this one?
not on that particular one. We've got some on the next one, but I'm wondering, it could maybe Knights of Columbus.
Well, I just don't recognize any people, Tuscola people. Oh, there we go.
Yeah, there's
There we go.
Tuscola people.
There's Mr. Wilhelm in the upper left-hand corner. And
Mrs. Wilhelm,
Hausman,
Bud Hausman,
Bud Hausman,
and his wife.
Carl Connor. Is that Carl?
No,
Lower right?
no,
Who is that?
I don't know. That one I don't know.
This one's the front left couple is Charlie and Virginia Deaver Meyer, who later moved to South Dakota and owned Deaver Meyer Grain Elevator.
Now I know what this is. This is class reunion.
That is
Class of whatever 40 something, isn't
they
it?
always talked about the connection between Dr. Deaver and the Meyer family, Buck Meyer's family.
Huh.
And so that's the Meyer that went to South Dakota. That's where I think Althea was from. They were good friends. I don't know if Althea or Doc were out there in South Dakota where he had a mine. I don't know if that was Buck's cousin.
Yeah.
I don't think it was a brother.
Comment came from Maureen Beaver Purcell. Donald Paul says the tall gentleman in the back is her brother Bud Hausman, and on his left is his wife Lula.
Mm-hmm.
Barbara Beal says Uncle Chuck, Aunt Virginia, Uncle Russ, and Aunt Wanda. Doesn't give last names.
Oh, that's Russell Helm.
You're right.
That's Russ Helm from Murdoch area. He was in the 60s. I think he was an investigator for Butch McCown for the state attorney's office.
One time he was chief deputy.
Frank Lincoln. Yeah, so that's the.
It's a class reunion. I didn't know Russell Helm went to school.
And Russell married. Isn't Russell related to the Myers? Russ married. Who identified the picture?
Barbara Beals. And so maybe Wanda, would that be her name?
Yeah.
Russ and then Gene Meyer Kahn says Uncle Charlie and Aunt Jen Meyer and Uncle Russ and Aunt Wanda Helm.
Right.
Maureen Beaver Purcell also says also Wilhelm, Frank Earl, and Verna question mark.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, that the Deavers and the Myers are related because of this gentleman here out South Dakota, and then Russ married into the Meyer family, I believe. Yeah, they're all related. Throw a rock. Throw a rock.
Family reunion.
Yeah, you know what? I'm wondering if that's
class reunion.
Well, this looks like, what class would that be, Bill? Go back. This
I couldn't. They had 40 something on it.
Yeah, this is probably
43.
Okay, that's what this is. Go back to the first one then, see if we know anybody.
Is that the
Earlier one.
I just don't recognize those folks.
No.
I don't see a 43 on there.
48. Is it a 8 or 3? It looks like a 3, doesn't it?
That's probably a 48 class, I'd say.
I would think they'd be closer to 48.
Yeah, it looks like a 48 to me, but it's hard to tell.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's see if we get the next one.
Go to the next one. Yeah, some of these folks didn't stay in Tuscola.
Okay, I don't have any comments on this one.
I may have a 48 yearbook. We can look them up, but they may have changed from there.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, this is probably their 20th reunion.
That'd be 60.
One says 43 and one says 48.
You have a clear 43. There's a 43.
Mm-hmm. That looks like a 3, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is.
Wow.
I bet this was taken in 68. That's their 20th reunion.
Well, the envelope said 61, but
well, that looks like third in from the right is Dick Parker.
That's Dick Blake right there.
Lower left is Dick Lake. And
Bob Kahneman. There's Bob Kahneman.
The third one in from the right is Bob Kahneman, then Joanne.
And then Berlin Obrecht.
Let's go from the right again. Dick Lake and Kay.
Okay.
Third one is Bob Kahneman.
Right.
And there's
Joanne. Is it Joanne? Joan.
Mary Joan. She was Bill Huber's sister.
Yeah.
Berlin Obrecht on the auto repair. And his wife. Go up to the top. The third one in, I think, is Dick, Parker, and Maggie.
Yeah, that's Dick and Maggie, but I don't recognize the others.
Dorothy Fielder says in back on right is Wayne and George Geyer.
Wayne Geyer went over to Village Road.
Well, one thing's for sure, Dick Lake was in World War II, so this is class of, it might be, who knows, 43 or whatever.
Well, you know what? I think it is 43 because
43.
Go back to Bob Kahneman. Bill Huber played on that 1940 football team that was under Alkeish for 3 years. They were undefeated, except they lost twice to Champaign. And the halfback for Champaign that scored the touchdown that beat him was Bob Kahneman. Halfback from Champaign, wound up marrying Bill's sister. So yeah, he played in 40 for Champaign. Bob Kahneman.
Mm-hmm.
Now this one I have some comments.
Okay,
I was going to say, I bet because there's a couple of guys here that look awfully familiar.
Rosemary Hander says back left, her uncle Harold Thomas and wife Betty. Question mark front row, my uncle Glenn Thomas and wife Reba. Shirley Quinn says back, third from left, K.O. and Barb Lake.
That's
K.O. Lake.
And
You know,
Olin Fromm says that's his mom and dad, Glenn and Helen Fromm, first row on the left.
Yep, Olin Fromm. Glenn Thomas, his sons graduated from Tuscola. Bill Thomas was in my class, and Bob Thomas was
a Deaver and Forrester 64.
Yeah. Was he 64?
Yeah, 64. Look at K.O. Lake back there. K.O. and Dick were great carpenters, built some of the best houses in Tuscola.
Yeah, I'll be darned. This Thomas fellow looks, Bill Thomas ended up looking just like his dad.
Yeah.
And I was trying to think of what Olin from.
Mm-hmm.
Olin's a couple years older than me.
Would be 25.
15. Well, he says this is pulled from 61. Now, Bob went to Champaign, but there's Bob Kahneman again, upper right. And Dick Lake, upper left.
Maybe Dick Lake graduated in 41.
And
well, that's 43 is what all those things say.
Yeah, I guess.
And Wayne and Georgie Geyer. According to Dorothy Fielder.
Who's the third one from the left?
Well, it just says on the left, Kay and Richard Lake, and then second from left, in front and back, Wayne and Georgie Geyer.
Yeah. So is Bob. Of course, Bob Kahneman was quite a Tuscola fixture in the 60s with Kahneman Furniture and raised a great family. Lived across from German Hospital in the house that Alexanders live in. Does he look more like Rob or Rick or
Rob?
Looks more like Rob. He was a halfback for Champaign, and his two boys wound up being halfbacks at Tuscola. Rick and Rob both were halfbacks on football teams for Bukovich. Well, there's Berlin Obrecht again in the upper right, and there's Dick Parker and
Maggie
Parker, and there's looks like Wayne Geyer, and it still says 43. It looks like. Wonder where they met at there.
Yeah, I don't know where the building is.
Well, if they took their caps off, I could recognize them.
Yeah.
Looks like
that's Marcia Graham.
No.
Yeah, it is.
I was going to say Ann Mason.
No.
I don't know.
No comments?
I'm going to throw up a challenge on that one.
No, not on that one.
I would venture to say that was Marcia Grant.
There's Kitty Case.
Is your instructor.
There's the love of my life. Front row, third one in.
Boy, you sure got that one quick.
Wow. Yeah, I had a crush on her in the 8th grade that would not end. She lived in a pink house right across the old Northward.
So these little girls, young girls, boy, those bathing caps really foul you up.
Well, I know if they took them off, we'd know.
They look like space cadets.
Okay,
Now I got one of them for sure.
Mr. Reinhardt, Orville Reinhardt.
Orville
second
Reinhardt.
Second from left.
Yeah.
And is that not OB, is it?
No, it's not O.B. Smith. I don't know, but that's Orville Reinhardt. Bet this got something to do with KFC, but who knows?
Yeah.
Yeah, these must be the KFC pictures. Someone had said they're all Catholic. I've got some comments on this one.
Harold Flume, second from the left, isn't it?
Uh-huh. So it looks like, and there's Smith.
Warren Smith. Rudy Kalmar.
Rudy Kalmar, lower right, third. It's not Warren, it's his brother.
John
Smith. Middle row owned the matinee. He and Warren went together. One of them had Smith's shoe across the street, and one had the matinee, and they went together. Who is the first one on the left?
Harold Weber.
Harold Weber. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Bill was his neighbor.
No, Bernard was
Bernard
my
was your neighbor.
Yeah.
Too many Webers.
Too many Webers.
His daughter Peggy says, I think they're all Catholic, so maybe church related. I see Clyde,
Right.
Osmond, Fromm, Kalmar, Smith, and Cappy.
Yeah.
Where's the Clyde at?
Well, she didn't say.
Which one's the Clyde? Look how young Rudy looked there.
Yeah. Well, he was.
He still looks good. Rudy's probably 90, and he still looks like he could bench press Bill and I.
He's over 90.
Strong as a.
He comes out the golf course every day.
Yeah, he still hits the ball pretty good. Great shape.
Great family.
There she is again. She's supposed to be in. Bill Clyde said she's supposed to be in town last week, and I've got a red alert out for people to call me when she comes.
Why are we not recognizing some of these little boys?
Well, they're just enough younger than you, I guess. Yeah, I thought you might know some of them.
We were probably standing at the fence.
You were probably not paying attention to the boys.
No, we weren't. Whoa.
That's Geraldine Wellborn on the left.
Yeah.
I don't think that's Marcia on the right.
Well, right now it doesn't look like
That's the
Marcia.
same gal, I think. That's
It's a
Geraldine Wellborn Ploger, married an insurance agent in Champaign.
Well, you know, some of these girls now have changed since.
Well, we
Pictures were
haven't.
taken.
I don't understand.
Well, I don't understand why. Yeah, you and I, we're the same.
You know, the girls in our class aged like fine wine, and the guys stunk up like old cheese.
Mm-hmm.
Now that we should know
This
that.
is synchronized swimming, it looks like.
Yeah, we won third.
That's Ronnie Cooper.
Is that the the
No.
league? I don't know. He was a
Boy, it sure looks like him, doesn't it?
well, it could be.
Long
Who's
arms.
the gal?
I don't know.
This was military training to get ready to go to basic training.
Right.
You can see the high dive in the background.
Back when we lived, we would go off the high dive, and then they declared it too dangerous.
Yeah.
Nobody ever died that
As
I
far
know
as I
of.
know, we never had never had an accident off
No.
that high dive.
My little brother started going off the high board when he was 3 years old.
This drives me nuts on these kids.
Yeah. No comments, huh?
Not on that one.
Okay, this is, oh my gosh,
That's up in front of the journal office.
that's my class, a large part of it. In the back
Oh,
row,
I
that's
see.
Carol Schroet in the back row, Nancy Norton. I know that third girl. I can't think of her name.
Next girl's Nancy or
Cranford.
Marcia Cranford, Kathy Carroll, right?
John Bozarth on the far right. in
Looks
the
like
back.
John Bozarth.
Right, front right. Second one in is Mardina Bridges,
Yeah.
I think.
Sandy Ritchie is in the middle.
And that's
Debbie Hackett,
Debbie Hackett, Janet Wright,
right? John
John
Rothguy.
Rothgab ready to fly off into space with a flat top.
I like the way John's cuffed his jeans.
John was always super cool.
Yeah, he looks
So this
good.
is class of 65 and 66 mixed
Yeah,
in
that's
together.
Janine in the middle.
That's Sandy Ritchie here, and that's
Yeah.
Jean Hall.
Janine
Did
Hall.
you get her? Who's this?
Yeah.
Oh,
Let me read what Maureen wrote. Includes members of classes of 65 and 66. Back row people include Diane Smith, Marcia Cranford, and Kathy Carroll.
there's Diane.
That's Diane.
John Bozarth, question mark. Front row, John Roxgeb, Janet Wright, Debbie Hackett, Janine Hall, and Mardina Bridges at the far
Well,
right.
she missed Sandy Ritchie,
Yeah.
We got her.
and that's Nancy Norton back there. One of our.
Who's the girl on the left of Rothguy?
I announced a couple weeks ago. I announced Nancy Norton was our salutatorian next to the brilliant Doug Carnine, and I forgot that Joe Caldwell, our frequent contributor, was co-salutatorian. So apologies to Joe for.
Yeah, don't want to get that right.
Terry Parker says it's her mom Maggie on the front row left.
Who? Is that Maggie?
Maggie Parker, yeah.
We don't know why they're down there.
Diane Smith next to Marcia Cranford and Nancy Norton. No wonder she looks so short, and it's hard to. I see the face now. That is Diane.
Margie Stevens says back row left, Carol Schrott, Nancy Norton, and Diane Smith.
Yeah,
Schroet.
Throat.
Or Schrott, as they say down in Kentucky.
Throat. Sharon Cappy says, I think in front, third from left, Janet Wright, Debbie Hackett, Janine Toomey, Sandra Ritchie.
Janine Toomey is Janine Hall.
Her dad owned a
Jewelers.
little jewelry store downtown, and then her mom worked at the treasurer's office. Nice gal. So the one Bill and I didn't get there, the two of them we didn't get is lower right, the boy, and then third one in from the right, that girl.
You know what? That boy is that Butch Concert?
I was going to say Jim Helm for a second.
No, Butch Concert.
That Butch?
I think so. Maybe Maureen can. Well, see, they don't watch this. They watch the Facebook thing.
Oh, I see.
Preceding this, so we can't.
So we don't get graded.
We don't get graded by the general public.
That was my cousin up there, Kathy Carroll's Myron's and Mary's daughter. Went out to
Columbia, Missouri.
Went to Stevens College, I think, and never made it back home. Passed away a few years ago.
Boy, she really was a funny girl. She had a great laugh.
Oh, when did
very likable?
How long ago did she pass away? 5 years ago?
At least.
Yeah.
More of these.
Oh, I got it in the back.
Okay.
That's James Benner and James and Bessie Benner. Jim Benner hauled a lot of corn with him. He's a dandy. Boy, I liked him a lot.
Keep on going.
On the left is Les and Louise Dick.
Is that Les Dick?
That's Les Dick and Mrs. and that's McQueen, Frank McQueen, isn't it?
I was going to say Bob Vukovic, but that can't be. That's Frank McQueen. Had did he own the McQueen chicken coop in Tuscola?
No, his dad did.
His dad did, and then he went down and sold cars in Arcola, didn't he? McQueen's. Auto.
Yeah, oh yeah, he had a car deal.
That was Ronnie, his boy. Ronnie.
Yeah, that's Ronnie's dad. Yeah.
Was in my class and saw him at a reunion a few years ago. He played back in the 60s. He was in a rock and roll band, played guitar.
Ronnie came to your reunion, sat across the table from me. Yeah. We had a great visit.
A couple years ago.
Yeah, he sent me a CD. What was it? DVD or something. Yeah. Remember his music?
You were the only member of 64 invited to the 66 invited to the 65 reunion.
Yeah.
This here's the foundation for Bill's new house on North Ward we're working on.
Yeah, it was deep.
That's the elevator.
Looks like a fire truck in the background. So,
well, our fire department showed up a lot.
That's the scales for the elevator, isn't it? You think? There's the elevator, grain elevator down there on Washington Park.
I think
And they
you're right.
pull up on the scales.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Mr.
God,
On.
that looks like
Oh, that's
Harriet Jinks.
that is
Harriet
Harriet.
Jinks.
Lower
Is it
left is Harriet Jinks, and that's Cheryl Carnine behind her.
Mm,
It is Harriet Jinks, so it looks like.
it looks like.
And who does this look like?
I will tell you
Is
this in the
that
background.
Is that Flesser girl? Is that Ian?
In the background, you see the Hotel Douglas.
Look at that beautiful arched window there.
Yeah, that's actually that's the window we'd look out on Main Street, right?
Yeah, right.
When we're getting our hair cut.
Had some nice architectural details, little Romanesque arches.
Yeah.
Good brickwork.
Yeah.
Well,
Another one from that earlier picture.
This is trying to bury the sins of Tuscola.
yeah, I see
Right.
4 of those bundles are mine.
I think they're investigating the one of those murders that Bill wants going to tell us
Yeah,
about.
that's one of.
They've uncovered the gun from the Burmeister murder. Bill knows who did it, but he won't tell. Afraid he'll get shot.
Mhm.
You know, I wonder if they had a fire. I wonder if that's F.H. Jones. Go back one.
That's Dean Ziegler with that hose.
They had a fire at F.H. Jones is what happened. And that's roofing tile. Go back to the next one.
Look like roofing.
Yeah,
That's Dean Ziegler holding that hose.
you think that F.H. Jones was right next to the elevator. You think they had a fire?
I don't know. I don't remember. See the boxcar? This is down underground, isn't it?
I don't know. Michener ought to know.
Al Michener should have commented on this.
Yeah. No comments?
Well, I just put them on this morning.
Oh,
Oh, that's there's the tooth they pulled off of Mastodon. Big tooth.
actually, what that is an axe.
Right. Indian axe.
Yeah. No.
But they made it a teeth from Mastodon.
Yeah.
Who's looking at it?
It's like Ed Schultz, but it's not. I don't know.
F.H. You think they're in?
They brought that into the lumber yard.
F.H. Jones. That's an F.H. Jones photo.
Might be.
I thought maybe it was at the newspaper office.
Well,
Could be.
Sometimes people bring stuff like that into the newspaper.
Yeah.
can Bill and I bring stuff we find dirt clods?
Oh yeah, you can bring it.
Okay, there's Bill getting ready for his physical to go on the military academy.
Yeah. Oh, nice little boy. Looks like a doctor's office.
Yeah,
Well,
I know just how he feels. Now, I bet we end up, somebody will identify this kid.
No, they haven't yet.
Yeah, they will. That's going to be one they identify.
There's another one of those.
This is getting a lot of attention here.
Well, there's several shots of it. I put them on just in case maybe you could identify some of the people, different
Well,
angles.
I've got Dean Ziegler, but I'm looking.
Well, it looked like there was a fire truck there, and it looks like they're hosing down. Looks like they're trying to salvage their.
Back in this time, fire chief probably been Lucky Ball. Almost close. I don't know when these were turned over.
I think you're right. I think it may be F.H. Jones. You see stacks of lumber and stacks of roofing.
Yeah.
Somebody threw a cigarette in there. Western Auto. They used to be the Star Store on the southeast corner there, right just north of the railroad tracks.
It's a boutique now.
It's boutique.
Oh no, this is where the pharmacy was.
Right.
Higgins bought that in the late 60s.
So
but that was all the way down was the Star Store, Tuscola's premier department store.
Yeah, what threw me is this second.
That scaffolding set up in front of what we knew as Carpenters. That's now a beauty shop.
Your dad worked at Carpenters.
What threw me is the second story is no longer there.
Right. It's no longer there.
The first story here and with these windows is still there, but the second story is gone.
Well, you go down just a little bit further and you're at the Masonic Lodge. Above the petals and plants, is that what it's called?
Yeah, and you got the farm bureaus in there, the third one down.
Used to be.
Looks like they had night crawlers, Corningware, used bikes, and skates. And look, there's a plow in there.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah,
That's the way we used to do
you
it.
didn't plow too many acres back then.
No.
Maybe 10. Maybe 10 was a big farm.
And when I was little, Western Auto was farther down where Kelsey's is.
Well, Higgins owned that.
That's where he started, actually, I believe. Shinneman?
Ed Shinneman, I think Jim and Kay bought that off of Ed and was it Cheval?
It's
Ed
now
Ed Shinneman.
part of Kelsey's,
Kelsey Park.
right there by the alley.
In its heyday, though, that was the spot
Oh, yeah.
right there. It was like Robeson's or Lewis's.
But we're back.
We're back.
That's it today.
Short day.
Short day. 61 was a great year. It was the year Kitty Quiche was in Tuscola before she left. I've never been the same. I wrote an article about Kitty one time, and she actually sent me a note, and I've got the note upstairs. I can even go get it for you, but I keep it right there by my typewriter. But I talked about shooting baskets. You've heard this story, shooting baskets all day. I was in the 8th grade, and she'd come out of this pink house, and I'd run in and dunk a ball, and I'd swing on the basket. Hope she'd noticed. She never did. So she sent me a letter saying, I used to come out of the house and see you over there swinging on the baskets. I had no idea what you were thinking about. I had love and kisses with a bunch of X's. So I did get a note from Kitty.
It's right there by his nightstand.
It's right next to my Bible.
I was fortunate enough as a kid to play golf with Kitty and Tom Mercer.
Oh, you're kidding.
No, at Villa Grove.
That was,
I mean, you talking about being nervous with the club.
that was it. I mean, you talk about Grease, except he was the athletic hero. He was the quarterback, star quarterback. She was the beautiful cheerleader. They were royalty in Tuscola, and you got to play golf with them.
Oh, I played golf with them. Yes,
Oh my
I did.
gosh. Oh my gosh.
Unbelievable.
Wow. Do you have any photos?
Something, no. I wouldn't have been able to hold the camera steady.
Kitty was beautiful. She wound up going to, I think she either worked or studied in Paris and design. She wound up in Washington, D.C. She bought up property, and I guess she became quite successful out in Washington, D.C. Has a daughter, beautiful daughter. Lost track of her sister. Bert's out in Las Vegas.
Was a beautiful guy.
Beautiful. Her sister looked like Elizabeth Taylor. Bert went out to Vegas, married to Jim Polig, who passed away of a sudden heart attack, married Bill Kleiss. And so I saw Kitty and Bert both back at the Monticles when their mother died, when Dorothea died.
I played golf with Al.
Not many did.
No. But you know what? He was nice to me. I rode in a cart with him. Yeah.
Yep.
You know who else I played with? John Gurnan.
Oh my gosh.
Now that filled the cart up.
John Gurnan owned Gurnan's Drive-In. Later called it Mel's, but it was first Gurnan's. Sold Chili Mac.
That's why I was able to identify the three men in the out of the past picture in the Journal this week.
Yeah.
We're all Kaskaskia golfers.
Now, Bill and I played down there in the 60s. I belonged to Villa Grove probably in the late 50s. We joined for almost nothing.
Almost nothing.
Belonged to Kasky one year. But that Elmer Broyles was on the left.
Not Elmer.
I mean, Jim Broyles.
Elmer was your 7th grade teacher.
Elmer Broyles was my 7th grade teacher. Jack Hood, the assessor from Arthur, was on the right. In the middle was Bob Hood. How am I doing?
Pretty good.
Not too well.
The middle guy was Jack Timmons. Was it Fred or Jack?
Jack. It was Jack.
Jack
knew him well.
Jack Timmons won the Kaskaskia Country Club title many times. I remember Coach Bucko was a pretty good golfer. But Jack Timmons hit a ball. His drive never got more than 3 feet off the ground. He had a line drive, low ball down the middle, and he was a great putter. He made everything within 20 feet. And Steve Schrader, one year, he was the final day. Remember this? Steve was a senior in high school, really good golfer. And they had the final playoff with Jack and tee off. And to mess him up, they started on 5. Steve got mad. Well, we started on 5, so I just feel like it. So they Jack wound up beating him, I think. I don't think it was the last time he ever beat him, but yeah,
I think it was the last time he ever beat him.
Those were tough. Those were tough old guys. Bob Hood was Bob Hood was the assessor. Probably the nicest assessor we ever had. Real fair guy. Listened to you, wouldn't get mad. He'd hear your case out. If you were right, he'd give you a break. You know, if you're wrong, he'd stand by his assessors. I thought he did a great job as assessor. He was still there. I think when I was state attorney in 76, Bob might have still been there.
Jack Timmons worked for the gas company.
Yeah.
Field rep, and he would go every day to Kaskaskia and practice putting and chipping.
And check their gas. And check their gas.
Check for a gas leak. Yeah.
Yeah. No gas leak today at Kaskaskia Country Club. Yeah, those were the guys when Bill and I were young. Here, hold on just a second while you're talking. Talk about that Kaskia again.
Well, at Kaskaskia, we got acquainted with all these people. Fred Schrader was one of our acquaintances. That's Steve's dad. But Bucko got into a fight with Timmons down there in the locker room. They pushed each other around a lot.
Yeah.
He went to get Kitty's letter, didn't he?
No, he got a great picture.
Here is Bill Englehart and I on the first tee of Kaskaskia as high school kids. Can you see that?
Yeah.
You see, which one's Englehart?
I think in the back.
No, that's me in the back. That's
Bill
Bill.
in the back, Bill in the front with his head down.
Yeah.
Huh.
That's classic.
That is a classic. We were very stylish.
And we teed off at the same time, which was unusual back then.
Yeah, a little unusual.
But look at that. Look at Bill's athletic. Look at those muscles.
Yeah.
He was a stud.
Yeah. Well, you were a tall, slim stud.
We hit the ball a long way back then. We tried to drive every green at Kasky. That was our goal.
Those
They
the days.
Cards now for seniors.
Have they?
Yeah.
We drove from the back.
You drove over that green.
I did drive over one once.
Yeah.
Chipped on and 5 putted. Well, David, that's a good sampling. 61 was a wonderful year. 60 near the still the age of innocence, you know.
David, I wish sometimes we could get comments like we used to on our show here. But I know that they do it. They identify people. They can watch it on YouTube now, which is good.
Yeah. We'll do a few comments once in a while on the video.
Do we?
Yeah.
No one gets quite upset with us. I hope not.
No, but actually the numbers on the video have gone up since we started posting the pictures ahead of time. I think sometimes they're curious about the pictures. They want to know, they want to hear what you have to say about it.
Well, when we're trying to identify people from class of 43, remember we weren't born yet.
I was born in 47, so
but we knew those people.
Yeah.
The ones that stayed here, we knew.
I knew the 61 would be tough for me because I wasn't born yet in 61. So
yeah.
Well, you know, the most amazing thing is, you know, once you realize who they are, like Russ Helm, you know,
yeah,
Russ Helm was just a great old guy, and you know, and all of a sudden you realize who they are. 43 was a probably a gap year in there because the war was on. I think my dad went to service about 40. My dad went in 44, 43, 44. Melinda was born in 45. He came back from the war. Melinda was, I think, 2 years old. and he had never seen her.
Hmm.
And mom was up at Navy Pier in Chicago when he came home. And she said she ran right by him, didn't recognize him. Dad had gained about 30 pounds. He was on he was a gunner on a merchant marine ship, and I think they drank all the beer they were transporting to India. Supposed to take 10,000 cases, and they wound up with 8,000 cases. Dad said the provost marshal had them out in the Indian Ocean. And they said they were going to do an investigation, said they couldn't leave. And Dad said in the middle of the night, they pulled anchor and sailed away. I think they were missing 2,000 cases of beer.
I miss Homer and his stories.
Oh, he had some.
Oh, he did.
He was down in New Guinea. He was in the Philippines, New Guinea. He said, I was an Atwood farm boy, never stepped foot in water deeper than 1 foot in a creek. And here I am in the U.S. Navy sailing the world. I said, holy cow. Holy cow.
What an adventure.
What an adventure. Well, David, once again, thank you for the privilege of you digging these pictures up. They're wonderful.
All right. Well, we'll look for some more next week. So
We enjoy it. We enjoy doing it. And
Yeah, that's
for
what-
those that do watch us, we appreciate it. But we have a lot of fun doing it.
Yeah. And we apologize if we miss anybody.
Yeah, sometimes we can't help it.
Yeah.
Especially those swimming pictures. Man.
Well, I just want to know what year girls quit wearing their caps.
Mm.
yeah, I don't remember.
And what year did boys start wearing their baseball caps sideways like this or backwards? When did that happen?
Not long ago.
Life went downhill after that, didn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
I know they were still wearing caps in the 70s when my sisters were young.
Well, on swim teams, they still wear them for speed,
Well, speed.
you know.
Yeah, speed. Or they shave their hair.
Right.
Yeah, if you're real serious about it.
But
I was going to be on a men's speed team in college, but they said I had to wear Speedos, and that was it.
well,
I'm not wearing
one
Speedos.
thing's for sure, he sure got Kitty Kish right off the bat, didn't he?
Oh man.
Did.
Yeah.
Oh man.
It was like he was still at the pool.
I'll tell you what, there's some crushes you just never get over. There's
All right. Well, we'll see you next week on Remembering Tuscola.
See ya.
bye.